You are listening to the Taps and Teas Show, weekly conversations for people passionate about marketing, golf, and craft beer. Marty is the co-founder of Bad Rhino, an award-winning digital marketing agency helping golf and craft beer brands get real results in social media marketing. Here is your host, Marty McDonald.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Taps and Teas. And today, winding down 2020 and doing a review, just a recap of the year in craft beer. I have this all set up on a presentation. If you'd like it, you can just email us at craftbeer@badrhinoinc.com. But just going through the year, trying to wrap up the podcast year, but also, gives out some good information as you're planning for 2021. And I guess you call 2020 the year that nobody wanted with COVID and all the other fun stuff. It's kind of odd, going back to January of last year, or this year rather, and looking out, things were really good in terms of agency life and where we were with craft breweries. We had, a handful that we were working with, quite a few actually looking to up their game and put a digital marketing plan together for 2020. And man, did that change fast. It was 1 minute, I'm literally flying out to San Diego to do a pitch and talk with multiple people in the craft brewing industry and put together a thing for a large number of craft breweries and some other restaurants and things like that were tied into it. And, that was the first week in March and everything changed and literally almost when my plane landed back. It was really interesting, and crazy. And I hope everyone's doing well. But I wanted to go through a few things just to wrap up the year and, tell you a few things I've been working and some things that we've seen within the industry from a marketing perspective. And, again, it's been a weird one, but at the same time, there's some realities to it. A couple of the things that have gone on is the reality of it. Retail beer sales going to drop a little bit this year. So I know that's going to impact some of the breweries in Texas. When we're talking with a few people down the Brewers Guild down there, they unfortunately expect as many as 2/3 to possibly close this year or going into 2021. It's still a little open, but it's really do or die time for a lot of breweries at the moment. And I can totally respect that. And I think we just have to take that into consideration with marketing and everything else that's going on. And obviously staying safe and keeping the customers and everything safe. Brand equity really is what the key has been. Saying that like 2/3 of those breweries might close locally. The big thing is it's not going to weaken the long-term demand. This is a short-term thing, right? Hopefully shorter than we all want, or, we'd all like, longer than we'd all like rather, but shorter than, a 5-year outlook. This is a short-term blip, but the long-term is very, very bright for craft beer, but it's changing the landscape. It's accelerating it. Most breweries that had to close probably should have closed before. Those that are going to survive probably just need better positioning in the marketplace. Still, with all that doom and gloom, market analysts are out there talking about, hey, it's really going to return very, very healthily within 2 years or less, and all the volume losses will also be regained. But you have to make sure that you have everything in place to capitalize on that. And, going back, like I said, in January, things were humming right along for us, as an agency in craft brewing, and things were picking up actually. Like I said, we had about 12 or so opportunities that we were just about to sign on at the beginning of March. Then we also had our current group of clients doing consulting and marketing execution for them, digital marketing plans. And then, we had this big group, out west that, restaurants, craft breweries, they were all going full force, and the buzz was around, okay, what is this COVID thing? But nobody really thought it was going to be as bad. I mean, they knew something was going to come up. Like it would come up in conversations, but nobody knew. And then the whole world just, shut down, taproom shutting down and moving to the quote unquote new normal. But during that time, and especially in March, what we saw is the breweries that were ready to rock and roll were the ones that had a plan. Now, Nobody had a plan for this. What I mean is they had a miniature plan is like, how are we going to attack this? What are we going to do? And after the initial shutdown that we had, at least in PA, just speaking from living in the area, the things that were going on around the country, everybody was like, what exactly needs to be done? Like, can we open? Can we do this? And there's so many question marks and nobody knew anything. And then as things started to open up, i.e. curbside, delivery, different things started popping up, the marketing had to shift, right? And that's what I want to talk today about, just to wrap up this short podcast, is what were people doing over the past 9 months? What worked? And what do you need to do for 2021, right? And it's also going to depend on where you live and operate if you're in the craft brewing industry. So the first one, you couldn't expect people to just walk in your tap room anymore, right? There weren't people just going, hey, you know what? I think this afternoon we'll go over to the brewery and we've never been there, and let's get a group of people and hang out, have a couple flights of beer, maybe buy some, then go out to dinner or something like that, or some sort of afternoon outing or going to visit new breweries. You can't just expect people to walk in your tap room anymore, right? So, going through there with a virus, people had to change, so even if you could bottle or can the beer, you still have to sell it to somebody. You still have to let people know what's going on out there. What are you doing with your beer? How can you get it into the hands of the consumer? And, what we saw and what we've been advising on and working on during COVID, past wild 9 months for craft, restaurants, live events, well, everybody, let's just be honest, impacted everyone in some way, shape, or form. What I've seen and what we saw at Bad Rhino was a shift to digital marketing like I've never seen before. We've been running Bad Rhino for 10 years now. I personally have been involved in digital marketing in one way, shape, or form since 2002. I've never seen it this fast. I've never seen an influx of people, clients of all sorts coming to us and saying, all right, this is what we need to do. Help us do this because we got to remain open, because we got to do this or we have to do that. The winners were the ones that made a plan. That plan changed multiple times, but at least they started somewhere, or they already had a plan of what they wanted to do marketing wise, at least to change. We had professionals that were going to Zoom calls and had to set up webinars for events and little tiny things that they never really did because they would go to live events. Clients would come to them in their office, accountants, lawyers, doctors. Then you also had the craft brewery piece where you have people, selling products that they used to sell in person. Not everybody was buying and picking up beer all the time. They'd go into places and have a social event. And, the ones that didn't have a plan for any of that or just stood still, they had, bigger issues. They had bigger problems. A lot of those things just kind of came up where they were struggling, and it took them a little bit longer, but I've never seen anything move that fast. It just accelerated things. And let's go forward is, like I said earlier, the murky short term for craft brewery is definitely murky when you can't have people hanging out in a tap room and all these other things that are going on, but it's bright long term. So what's the plan? What do you need to do? And really, it's just getting to work a little bit on marketing and getting everything out there. Now is a great time to rethink your marketing plan for 2021. And I'm just going to go through a few simple items here. Like I said, I have this in a presentation. If you like it, send it out to you, craftbeer@badrhinoinc.com. And these are just some things that you can do. They're very cost effective. They're not a whole heck of a lot of outlaying and marketing expenses here. But the main one that we've seen that has been successful or has been a few things. I'm going to go over them here. The first one is update your website. If you haven't touched your website, now's the time. Do it. Get things out there. You want to have that as your base of your marketing and communications. With everything changing as quickly as it has, consumers are looking for those answers about how they can or if they can purchase your beer and where. Be sure that you clearly list the following information on your website. And these seem very simple, but sometimes they get lost in the shuffle because you're trying to keep people employed. You're trying to, produce the liquid. You're also trying to manage other things that you never thought you would manage in running your brewery. Make sure your hours are up there. Update your hours everywhere else that they may be listed as well, not just your website. So any social media accounts on Google, craft beer apps, etc. Make sure you have the services offered. If you're offering delivery, clearly list instructions on how to order. If your tap room is open and it's socially distanced and you have enough space, make sure you update a picture of that and have a blog post on the website just to explain some things.
Hey, if you're enjoying what you're hearing on the show and want more, head on over to tapsandteas.info and get our free report with game-changing tips and strategies straight to your inbox. Just enter your info and stop being stuck with no marketing plan.
Beers that are offered are very key. Make sure you have your current list there that's ready to go. If people show up and you don't have what you had listed on your website, or if they order something and then you don't have it, man, does that become a problem. And people are they're on edge a little bit, and they're trying to get away, trying to do something, and they finally got out, and damn it, the beer I ordered is already gone, right? So make sure that's just updated. If you've ever heard me speak on anything marketing related, I am not big on pricing or having different specials and discounts and changing your pricing. But I will say this time, I'm saying it since money is tight for everybody right now. And it's not tight that the economy is 100% falling apart, but now that we're 9 months into it, people are looking at things just a little bit different. So what we've seen, especially in the last 3-4 months, I would say since August, most of the times when somebody would offer something saying, hey, if you buy this, you get this, a shirt, hat, some swag, something. Or they were saying, hey, we have a limited run. We're trying to clean out the fridge. It's $3 off all 4 packs or something simple. And then some guy a little extreme and just said, hey, we have half off cases, so case is $70. We're going to give it to you for $35, but we only have 10 cases. You have to order online. The key there is order online. There's a limited amount, and it can help you just move inventory, but it also makes customer happy. I'm not a huge fan of it, but in this day and age, at the moment we're in, it makes people feel good. And if you can swing it and you can do it that, makes the most sense for your business, do it with limited quantities and see how it works. And I'm not saying you have to fully discount everything all the time, but people appreciate it. And it's all about making them feel, loved and, that you're actually taking care of your customer right now, because people are really starting to figure out where they're spending their dollars, and you can help influence that by, offering a discount or two every once in a while. Again, update your brewery, not only website, but all your third-party sites, whether it's on Untapped or any other third-party websites. Just make sure your information is accurate. Step 3, social, right? And the reason I go, is use social media to sell beer. I think craft brewers do an awesome job on social media. I think the majority of them have consistent posting. I think the majority have some artistic pieces to it. But I want to get into just a little bit of the nitty gritty of it. Social media is definitely one of the most effective ways to communicate with your consumers, build your brand awareness. And like we mentioned earlier, strong brand and connection with loyal fans. That's really what's driving success in breweries right now during this pandemic. So social media can absolutely do that, especially now, people are stuck at home. They're relying solely on their computers and mobile devices for any social interaction. And you can jump right in there and connect with them. I highly suggest having a daily plan for your social media. Remind them that they're thirsty and you have the beer. Keep in mind, photo, but even better, video speaks 1,000 words. So do short videos. I saw a couple. Bond Place up in Bethlehem had an awesome one. Kind of tied like safety, wearing masks, COVID, and lockdown all in the one around the holidays, and how they were shutting down and why they were shutting down for a short period of time. It was heartfelt. It's real. And I think that goes a long way with your customer base and the consumers that are looking at your brewery. Videos around cleanliness and sanitation, within the brewery are huge, just because people comfort level. Are these guys and girls actually doing anything? how are they doing it? What are they doing? Just give them a little bit of behind the scenes that, hey, this is, how we have to do this right now. And we hope you join us, and we're making it as safe and as clean as possible, and come on out. Post content that shows consumers that you're open for business and how you're open for business. Like if they're coming in to the brewery to pick it up, how they have to do it, prepay options, all sorts of stuff like that. If you're doing like curbside pickup, simply have a video that shows like here we are, pulling in. This is what's going to happen. You're going to pull up to the first cone. Once you get there, you want to stop, and then you'll wait, and then have your receipt by the window. We'll put it right in your trunk, right? I mean, simple as that. But you get creative with it. But remember, you want to use it to sell beer, not just communicate those things. And remember, good vibes, make them laugh, have some fun with it. People are looking for distraction, and your social media and your marketing can stand out if it's fun. But please don't forget to sell here. Don't forget the links to the website. Make sure that everything is up to date, like we said earlier. And the website's going to offer more info, gives customers a chance to learn more about your brewery. Fun is great. Good vibes are great. Staying in business is even more fun, and that's full of great vibes when you can keep people employed, keep things moving forward, and keep your business moving forward. So don't forget to sell, okay? Like I said earlier with craft beer, they do a wonderful job. Most of them do a wonderful job, but sometimes they just don't ask for the sale or tell people what's going on. And I think that's key. The other thing that we've seen that has been very successful, before we get to the last two that were extremely successful, has been Google My Business. And GMB is basically the dark horse for marketing for breweries right now. I mean, it's free, which is awesome. Every business owner should be using it to manage almost every aspect of your Google listing. What the customer sees when they search and find your brewery on a Google search is your Google My Business, right? So there's a lot you can do with it. I can't really get into it just on a simple podcast like this, but I just wanted to mention it because you can really take advantage of it right now. You can update your business hours, keeps it nice and clean right there. List services and beers offered in a COVID update post, right? Then if you have discounts, you can create an offer post in Google My Business. You can create event posts for upcoming beer releases. Or if you're having like a mini event where, you have not only a beer release, but maybe you did your first canning or something like that. There's tons of things you can do. It just takes a little bit of time, but it can pay off very, very well. People are searching a little bit more. So the reason I always recommend Google My Business, especially, anytime, but especially now, I live in Westchester, Pennsylvania. So if I go out and you want to get beer, you can't really sit down somewhere, I might go about 20 minutes from where I live. Now, if I see something that's posted out there and I go, that's a little interesting, and I can make it quick, easy, but I want to try that brewery or something else, Google My Business is key because I'm going to search for some things. I don't want to make that drive out there and then you're closed. I don't want to purchase something and then something happens. So you always want to make sure that stuff is updated. But people search, they search for that information. It's hard to get somebody on the phone, so you want to have it quick. And let's be real, people only spend a short amount of time, so they're looking for that information fast. If they have to hunt for any of this, you're going to have some issues, especially if it's a new person coming to your brewery. So, Google My Business can be huge for all this. Last couple things here, paid ads. Now, paid ads, you don't have to spend a ton of money, but you also want to just strategically do it. The biggest ones that we're seeing some success in: Instagram, Facebook, Google, and YouTube. And what we're seeing is brewers putting stuff out there so that somebody would get on their email list or their text. And that's been the big winner. The email and texting has been awesome because it's direct to the consumer, right? You can send out a text message, 3 or 4 times a week with some updates, a couple emails a week. The ones that I see that have been doing very well have been emailing about 4 to 6 times a week, Some of it's funny. Some of it's check out our social media. Some of it is, hey, we have a new release. Hey, we have online ordering, whatever is going on. And then for releases and some specific sales things, they've just been sending quick text. And it's been working because, well, you don't have to hunt for the information. Hey, we're doing our curbside pickup. It's from 12 to 2 on Saturday. You can purchase this. We only have 154 packs that we have for sale. So buy them online and you can check out this video of how to do it. And it's been working. The other things here of the people that have been really doing well through all this relatively has been people that have had a marketing plan. So in closing, for 2021, sitting here at the end of 2020, what we want to be able to do, in a brewery or any other business is set the plan for 2021. It looks like, some of this stuff might last for another 6 months. You don't need this comprehensive, huge plan at the moment. What you need is, okay, this is the whole year. This is what we're going to do in the first quarter because we don't know what's going to happen later on. Then as things open up or as they shut down, you can start to adjust that. But creating an email list right now or a text message list is awesome. It works. I would highly recommend it. I've been seeing some great results for craft brewers and restaurants building that email list. Get on our list, find out what our hours are, if there are any changes, takeout, curbside pickup, etc. Getting there and using the paid to kind of create that email list. I'm always a big fan of getting those lists, and in craft breweries, I think some of them, not all of them, were a little slack in that, and I think they realized the value of being able to communicate directly to their core customers was invaluable when the pandemic hit. So I think there's a lot of positives that are happening. It doesn't feel it that way, but I think, if you're getting through this, keep going, stay safe, keep everyone safe, and just have a plan. And hopefully those marketing tips will help. I think building your brand equity is going to be key in 2021 and staying in business and keeping everything moving forward and staying top of mind to customers. With taproom shut down, it becomes a little bit different in the quote unquote new normal. Just make sure you have information out there. That's what people are looking for, and they do want to support small business. So push it out there, get out there and do that. And if you want the whole presentation, just send us an email at craftbeer@badrhinoinc.com. And I look forward to talking on the next episode of Taps and Teas. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. The numbers have been going up. So thanks to everybody that has been listening and sharing this. Talk to you soon.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.